Ben picked a book.
I did.
I didn't read it.
I didn't read it either. I read it a long time ago. I went to
Ben,
read it
I was
again.
very, very busy. I'm so sorry. I'm interested to hear you talk about it.
We've had a crazy couple of weeks.
Yeah, I know. Well, the book I picked was Neil Gaiman's Marvel's 1602, a book that I actually had my eye on for a very long time, never picked it up, finally did at WonderCon because of its premise alone just fascinated me.
And Gaiman is coming off of Sandman at this point. Yeah.
Because Marvel 1602 takes the Marvel universe and reimagines them in the early 17th century, 1602, and they're all there. We have Sir Nicholas Fury, we have the X-Men, we have Peter Parker. He's not Spider-Man yet, and it takes all these classic Marvel superhero characters that we know and love, and we smack them right in the middle of the Spanish Inquisition in Queen Elizabeth's at the very end of Queen Elizabeth's life, and just things like what would these heroes be like way back when is fascinating, and it's written in a very interesting way. It gets very trippy near the end, but
I love the art.
The art is really beautiful, but I love how they twist things a little bit. Like Charles Xavier is Carlos Javier. Like that.
Oh, that's cute.
The mutants are known as witch breed.
Oh yeah, because they wouldn't be called mutants.
They wouldn't be called mutants. They're called witch breed. And Eric Magneto, he still has his magnetic powers, but he is the Grand Inquisitor. He actually wants to hunt. He was about to kill Angel in the opening part of this book, and Angel gets away thanks to the X-Men.
I love Thor in this.
Uh-huh.
He looks so cool. Now, I want to touch on the art because I really like the art. So Andy Kubert does the art, and he's fantastic. But normally he doesn't do so much line work. And by that I mean you look at these and you look at the sky, and it's drawn in very much a similar way as if you look at Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs, the art in the original book, how it's like the circle.
You see the lines in
the circle in the skies with the wind and all that. It's very much like that. In the background, you see a lot of line work, but not in a way that character design, but more in like background design, and it just gives it such an old world feel to it, like a parchment feel to it. And I really like that art, the art style.
Yeah. Now the plot of 1602 is that Sir Nicholas Fury is part of Her Majesty the Queen's intelligence, and there is a young girl coming from the colonies. The first person born in the New World, the colonies, and she is coming from America back to London town with her Native American bodyguard, Rogers, who is freaking Steve Rogers. Now, there's a whole bunch of plot points in this, like Count Otto Vadum, the leader of Lavaria, is trying to take over the throne. He actually kills Queen Elizabeth, and then King James of Scotland becomes king and is a horrible king. And also Dr. Stephen Strange, who is a physician but also he's still a magician, finds out that hey, there's a time traveler here. There's a world-ending event. The world is going to end, and we need to find out how to stop it. And I don't want to spoil the end of it, but just seeing Steve Rogers as a Native American and his broken English saying protect you, soup hot, burn, don't touch. Just the way that Gaiman writes these characters in early 1600s England and eventually the colonies is just masterful. It's like, how do you do that?
Gaiman in general is just a literary master.
Yeah, this is actually the first Gaiman book I've ever read.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, really. I've never read Sandman, never read any of his novels. But this is I'm actually kind of glad I picked up this as the first one because I want to read more of his stuff now.
Yeah, you need to do that. I've been wanting to get to this, and I'm sorry that I didn't because I was excited when you brought it up. I was like, yeah, I've been wanting to read that, and I still want to, and I'm still going to.
I read it a long time ago when I first bought it, and I bought it years ago.
I remember because Brandon, you remember when I first started reading comic books, I was mostly all DC. Maybe a few indies here and there, but it was all DC.
So was I.
And when I want to start buying
Fools. Sorry.
And when I wanted to buy Marvel books, I saw Marvel 1602 at your shop, and I was like, "What is this?" And
hashtag drinking game.
Hashtag drinking game. And I remember I forgot who was working there, but they said like, "No, this is it's not part of a continuity, but it's a really good jumping on point. If you've never read a Marvel book, this is one of the good Marvel books you should definitely read because it's self-contained.
There's also a couple of spin-offs. There is a Spider-Man spin-off to 1602.
At the very last page, you see Peter Parker, spelled Peter Parker. It's spelled weird, but you see him getting bit by a spider. And also, you see Daredevil, but it's not really Daredevil because it's Matthew Murdock, but he has a red bandana over his eyes, and he moves just like Daredevil does.
Yeah.
And Black Widow is a total bitch.
I'm into it.
Yeah, man. This is a good book.
In this book, Black Widow is a bitch. Just saying.
Hashtag feminism.
No.
Hashtag feminism. Hashtag Black Widow's a bitch.
You want to know
Hashtag it investifarted.
You want to know what? You want to know why I say that? Is because
Hashtag Kessel Run was a better title.
if you read the book, you know why. I was like, yeah, screw. Because after I saw that scene, I was like, man, screw you, Black Widow. You suck.
Yeah, it's a great book, and it's hard to say anything other than that, especially when it comes to Neil Gaiman.
Yeah,
because you haven't read a lot of
genius.
You haven't read a lot of Neil Gaiman stuff, but even the stuff that he's like a co-writer on.
Did you watch? You watched Doctor Who, right?
A little bit, yeah.
He never saw Doctor's Wife.
Oh, that's a Gaiman episode. It's like my favorite episode. Yeah,
it's one of the best episodes of season 5, probably of Stephen Moffat's whole run.
It's one of the best episodes of the show.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Ooh, color me intrigued.
He's written for TV. He's written movies. He's written books that have been turned into movies. He's written comics. The man, I have right now, as of now, have not read or seen a bad Neil Gaiman anything.
Yes, I agree with that.
I love him. Anything he touches, I will read it. Sandman, you should definitely read Sandman. It's incredible.
I've been told
You'd like it a lot.
I've been told to read. I need to read Sandman.
And DC Metal, not written by him. I'm just saying. Marvel 1602 was such a unique breath of fresh air to the Marvel universe, much in the way that Superman Red Sun works, where it's like Marvel didn't really have a name for it, but DC calls them Elseworlds. It's just fun to see characters in such new directions, and the more extreme that new direction is, the more fun it is to play with those characters. And I fully believe that Neil Gaiman just had a blast writing this.
One of the things I really liked about this was how they explained the Fantastic Four. And even the ship they sail on.
That was
Fantastic.
Cool. The
Fantastique, yeah. I'm reading this, I'm thinking, I really, really like the Fantastic Four in this book.
And then you read a Fantastic Four comic, you're like, I really don't like the Fantastic Four.
And yet in 1602, I'm like, I really like the Fantastic Four now. And 1602...
Hashtag sorry, Ryan.
We love you. Hashtag we love you, Ryan. 1602 is one of those books as I'm reading it, I'm thinking, you know what? I know Marvel's not going to do it. They don't do a lot of animation and movies anymore. They're not going to do a one-shot live-action film either. But if they did, if we lived in a perfect world and Marvel said, you know what? Let's do an off MCU movie just to shake things up a little bit. I would like them to do Marvel 1602 as a one-shot live-action film.
I would like to see it as an animated film. I don't think they could pull it off in live action.
Or an animated film. I would like to see 1602.
Bouncing off of that, I did have an interesting idea where they could do like what if shorts, like Marvel one shot what ifs.
Okay.
And have like have their actors play like what if versions of the characters. I think that would be kind of cool. But for something like this that was just so divergent from the Marvel proper, would work best as an animated. Much like you brought up Kingdom Come, I also think Kingdom Come would work better as a animated film.
It probably would. But
oh my god, can you imagine the Alex Ross art and animation?
Oh,
hashtag swoon.
You kidding me? Hashtag man crush.
Anything else we want to touch on with the book?
1602. If you were like me way back when I first started reading comic books and collecting comic books, Marvel 1602 is a book that you don't need to know anything else but just very basic Marvel knowledge.
You don't even need to know that. I will go so far as you don't even need to know that. But in this day and age, who doesn't know these characters?
But if you know names like Doctor Doom, you know names like Nick Fury, you know names like Peter
If you're listening
Parker.
to this podcast, you certainly know the name Doctor Doom.
You certainly do. Because Doctor Doom.
Who's Doctor Doom?
I think
somewhere Ryan just like his heart cracked a little.
Ryan's heart just like melted.
He's doing his thing right now. He keels over. He's like, someone talked bad about Doctor Doom.
My boy.
Yeah, but Doctor Doom in this book was amazing. I love Doom. I love all the characters in this book except for even Black Widow. Even though I'm like, man, Black Widow, you suck, but you're still good. So
Why do you have cookies?
we heard that.
Don't ask questions.
Just pull out a
you
bag
don't
of
want the
cookies.
answer to.
I do want to know the answer to this.
I am starving. Why did you do this to me?